In 10 months, one clinical trial company went from a new CEO to an accounting investigation to 2 AI mega deals in 5 weeks. This is what's actually inside that story. On July 28, 2026, ICON, one of the largest clinical trial companies on the planet, announced a multi-year collaboration with Anthropic Claude, deployed across the entire trial lifecycle. Claude Code for developers, Claude Science for clinical and scientific staff, Claude for everyone else, rolled out by job role across roughly 40,000 employees in 55 countries. It plugs into Orbis, ICON's own agentic AI platform. On paper, it reads as inevitable. Of course, a company this size is doing this. But inevitable isn't the same as obvious. So let's open up what ICON actually is, what Orbis actually is, and the year it took to get here. ICON isn't a drug company. It's a contract research organization, a CRO, the company pharma hires to actually run a clinical trial, finding sites, recruiting patients, managing data, filing with regulators. For fiscal year 2025, ICON reported $8.251 billion in revenue, roughly 40,100 employees, across 97 locations in 55 countries. That makes it one of the 2 or 3 largest CROs on Earth, behind global leader IQVIA. When you hear ICON, picture a company quietly running a meaningful share of the world's clinical trials, not a lab coat and a beaker. Here's what AI is actually plugging into. At the center is Orbis, ICON's own agentic AI platform, built before either the Microsoft or the Anthropic deal existed. Orbis powers 4 things: OneSearch and OnePlan, for picking trial sites and planning studies; predictive intelligence, which watches active trials in real time for enrollment risk; and protocol optimization, which models a study design before it's ever run. None of that works without real data, and that's the outer ring. Accellacare, ICON's own site network, more than 150 sites across 8 countries, access to over 9 million patients. Firecrest, ICON site technology, used to train and manage the people actually running the trial day to day. That's the layer most coverage skips. Anthropic and Microsoft aren't handing ICON a blank slate. They're plugging frontier models into 2 decades of real trial operations data ICON already owns. Now here's the 10 months that got ICON here, in order. October 1st, 2025, Barry Balfe becomes CEO, succeeding Steve Cutler. Just over 3 weeks later, ICON's audit committee quietly opens an internal investigation into its own accounting practices, not yet public. On November 24th, at the Jefferies Healthcare Conference, the brand new CEO announces a $300 million plan to invest in AI and digital innovation over 3 years. Then, on February 12, 2026, ICON goes public with the investigation and delays its earnings. Shares fall. By May 27th, it's resolved. Revenue restated, overstated by less than 2% in both 2023 and 2024, no impact on customers or cash. 3.5 weeks later, June 22nd, the Microsoft deal. 5 weeks after that, July 28th, Anthropic. 10 months. One new CEO. One accounting investigation, self-caught and resolved. And 2 AI mega deals, 5 weeks apart. That's not usually how the story gets told. So why ICON, and not some smaller, nimbler competitor? For reasons, and none of them are about being first to the AI trend. Scale and capital. $300 million committed dollars is a real budget line, not a press release. Most CROs can't write that check. Operational data. Decades of regulated trial data across therapeutic areas. Exactly the kind of high-stakes, high-compliance data a frontier model needs to actually prove itself in healthcare. A patient network. Accellacare's 9 million-plus patients is a live distribution surface, not a hypothetical one. And the aggregator role. In the CEO's own words, there's not a single pharma company out there who can afford to dip their toe into all the pools of digital disruption. ICON's pitch is doing that expensive experimentation once, so its clients don't have to. To be fair to ICON, stacking Microsoft and Anthropic isn't chaos. It's a stated strategy. Both announcements describe Orbis as a multi-partner, best-in-class ecosystem, not a bet on one vendor. And the accounting issue was self-identified through ICON's own internal controls, resolved within the timeline the company set, with no impact on operations. That's a company's checks working, not failing. But read the actual language in both AI announcements. We'll develop. Intend to. We'll explore. For capabilities on a roadmap. Not one public case study yet of a trial that ran faster because of it. At least not yet. So which is it? A genuinely rare platform advantage no smaller CRO can match, or a lot of momentum spent proving it. Comment your take below.